If you like it, you should have put a ring on it, except I really hated this movie, so no thanks.
And this boy says...
That's when she's coming for me.
You want to know about the girl in the well.
Ring stars Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, that guy from The Fifth Wave, and some other chick. I don't know who their names are. But they give bad performances. Congratulations, congratulations. So Rings is the third movie in the Rings franchise, which is the remake, because they had the 2 Japanese ones, and then they had The Ring, and then they had The Ring 2, and now they have Rings, which has been delayed like 4 times. Like, it's supposed to come out years ago, last year. Yeah. Do you know how else are you going to make that money? Without making a really low-budget horror movie franchise. Yeah, that's how you make the money. Anyway, in Rings, so there's this girl, like, we're just going to call her the main girl. So the main girl has a boyfriend. The boyfriend goes to, like, college, and then he stops talking to her all of a sudden, and she ends up going to find him, and she finds out he's been caught in all this, like, this 7-day, like, sort of stuff, where they keep just creating tales and tales and tales on, like, a human psychological experiment. And she sort of gets wrapped up in it, and in order to protect her boyfriend, she ends up watching the tape so he gets 7 more days, but it turns out the tape she got was different or something, so they end up having to go investigate Samara and her origin story, and they end up coming across Vincent D'Onofrio, a blind priest. I mean, I'll be honest, Vincent D'Onofrio in this movie is sort of like combining his character from Men in Black with Wilson Fisk. You don't want that happening. Never. Never. These should not cross paths. Never. But anyway, is there any decent moments in the Rings movie? I mean, sure. I mean, there are several scenes and like that actually come off as pretty creepy, but the rest of it is just it's just uncreepy. It's just, after you finish watching, it's just like, oh, well, that happened. Go and take a bed now. Yeah. But aside from that, there is just not that much creepy in Rings. I mean, the only thing that could add to it being creepy is that everything appears to be really dull lit and very dark and damp, as if it's almost black or grey or dark blue in almost every scene. There doesn't seem to be a scene without that. I mean, Samara herself, is when she comes out of screens, there is just laughably horrid CGI. This is probably some of the worst CGI I've seen in years, and that just goes to show that you actually need a decent budget to pull off CGI. As for the plot itself, everything just seems conveniently, like, cut together. As if, oh, we've got these 4 elements, let's connect them as far as possible through some sort of psychological horror that'll lead to finding the next clue, and it'll all be neat, and it'll be the art of filmmaking. But no, it's just a poorly woven plot, and there's terrible twists. Terrible, terrible twists. I think there's about 2 or 3 twists in the movie, and they're all bad, and it's really boring. It's actually just boring for the most part, and everything, they sort of just, there's just nothing that interesting to talk about here with Rings. I'm really struggling here to come up with something interesting to say about how this movie is just, it's just boring. It feels like it's been done before a bunch of times by a bunch of different movies, including Rings. The dialogue as well, it's actually awful. It's so awful that the entirety of this movie focuses on the premise of some guy, of Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, finding a VHS tape at a garage sale for a guy that's been dead for 2 years. All of it, the entirety of the plot starts off because of that, and it's just insanely, it's just insane on how dumb it is and how far it starts. Rings is horrid. It's a very bad horror movie. I don't recommend it at all. I will say Rings, burn it with fire. Have you seen Rings? What did you think of it? What's your favourite horror trilogy? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and comment on the Platypus. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. How about you click that subscribe button for more content? Or click one of these 2 videos. You know, either one's good enough.